Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Homestead, where we do homesteading stuff and we talk about it. The subject matter for today's video will be all about raising baby chicks. It is baby chick season, so I find it appropriate for the discussion table. First order of business is the brooder. If you're new to raising chickens, you may not even have a brooder, but please do not end up with paralysis of analysis. It's not worth overthinking it and not doing anything. It could be as simple as going to the hardware store and getting one of those big plastic Tupperware storage totes, putting some shavings in the bottom of it, and calling it a day. I built my own brooder, as you can see here, and wrapped it up in chicken wire. But please do not follow my lead by using chicken wire. You'll get some Houdini chicks that'll just slip right through it. And actually, I'm finding less and less uses on this homestead for chicken wire, period. Just skip the headache and go straight to the hardware cloth. Whether you build your own brooder or buy a big plastic tote or even put them in an ice chest. I've even seen people use a chest style deep freezer as a brooder. Whatever you use, there are 3 conditions that must be met for a chick's success, and all under the umbrella of, well, just say a 4th condition. First condition is temperature. Now when baby chicks are hatched, they're in an incubator, which is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Or 38 degrees Celsius for my friends across the pond. And they should remain in that incubator until they are dry and fuzzy and look like little cotton balls chirping. And at that point, they're transferred to the brooder, where they'll live for the next 5 to 6 weeks. I'll put the weekly temperature schedule on the screen, and you can screenshot it if you want to, but I'll be honest with you, you don't need it. Academic excellence is not required at this point. All you have to do is hang the heat lamp above the brooder, and if they ball up right under the light, they're cold. If they run away and stay away from it and they're all in the opposite corner, they're cooking. And if they're scattered out randomly across your brooder just eating and drinking and sleeping, you're doing pretty good. If your brooder is outside, you're going to need to adjust that light during the day and then go out and adjust it again during the night, because the temperature fluctuations will affect the temperature inside that brooder. Next order of business is the food. They sell chick starter. They sell medicated chick starter. This brand has this, and this brand over here markets that. You can follow your intuition on this one, but for me, I like the simplest approach. The less bags of feed I got to keep up with, the better. Now, years ago, I converted a manual grain mill like this one into this electric grain mill. I knocked that pulley on the shaft with a hammer and took an old motor that I had salvaged and an alternator belt off of an S10 pickup truck and made it happen. I personally grind my own chick starter out of 22% protein lay pellets, and I have never had an issue, and we've been doing it for years. Simplicity and efficiency breeds longevity and sustainability. And of course, the next thing is water. That pretty much covers that. They got to have water. However, there are some unfortunate events that we need to talk about, like chicks drowning in the water dish. If you've ever walked up on that, it's just disheartening. And this is another one of those things that we overthink. We say, well, my goodness, I got to get on the internet and find a shallow, thin little waterer. No. Take it outside to the driveway and put some rocks in it. That way they can't fall in, and if they do, they can just flop back out of it. I've seen people use marbles too, but rocks work. These 3 simple conditions that have to be met for the success of your baby chicks are all in vain unless they are under the umbrella of cleanliness. If your brooder and feeder and waterer is clean, there's no need for medicated chick feed, because they won't ever get sick. You know the old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Now, I don't want to come across sounding like an arrogant person or a aggressive or abrasive person, because I'm not. But sometimes you just got to say stuff. And I feel like I've got to say something. So if you can smell your animals, you're doing it wrong. I'm just being honest with you. The strongest smell coming out of a brooder should be the feed that they're eating. Keep the brooder wiped down, keep some fresh shavings or hay or whatever you use in there, keep the water clean, keep the feeder clean, and you don't need medicated chick feed. And if you do that, you can do like us and you can raise your chicks inside the house where the temperature is kind of flatline and you don't have to adjust your heat lamp up and down. If your brooder stinks, clean it up. And for the subscribers, I have something kind of exciting. In a previous video, I asked if you would to let me know where you live, and depending on the response I got is whether I was going to do what I think I'm going to do or not. And since you all answered, it seems like I'm going to have to do what I thought I was going to do, which is get a very large world map. And for every subscriber that tells me where they live, I'm going to put a needle as close to their place as they tell me. So if you tell me south of Houston, I'm going to put a needle at just south of Houston. If you live over in New Zealand, I had a subscriber comment New Zealand is getting a needle. And that goes for everybody. The more precise you are with where you live, the more precise the needle will be that represents you. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.